I'm going to explain how new fees were added to the Fire Rescue Services bylaw without council knowing it. So that was done by amending the schedules that contain all the fees, schedules A, B, C, D of the Fire Rescue Services bylaw. And every time this happened, council will be told that there were inflationary changes, but really new fees are being added. Let me show you how they did that. So first they told council in this document it was inflationary increases for providing services, nothing about a new charge. The next thing council got was this document that showed for each schedule the old charge and the new charge. So again, very reasonable. And I'm going to scroll down to here because there's a lot of changes in this section. So see for low hazard fireworks, 127 to 130, and also the overtime charges there. And finally, what council got was amendment number 4, which showed all these new charges. And let's just scroll down to here and we can see, well, there they are, just like they've been told in the other documents. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it side by side with 2016 and you can see how many changes went into this Schedule B alone. So I've got the two schedules side by side here now. And so this is 2016. What Schedule B permits like. This is 2017. You can see it's much longer, and in particular item 2's now got A through D instead of just A through C. And that's because they put the new permit for consumer family fireworks right in there, and that's what they tended to do, sort of slide it in the middle, not adding it to the end. And the other thing they did was they added these overtimes. Of course, council wasn't told about any of this.
This is a summary of changes to the Fire Rescue Services bylaw that were hidden from council. The exemption from nonprofits were removed. That was the first thing that happened. 10 fees were added and 5 overtime inspections were added. No other jurisdiction in Canada had overtime charges written to their bylaws like Edmonton. Overtime charges with a minimum but no maximum have been subject to abuse and have been abused. Days of overtimes are charged for inspections aren't required or should have been completed in less than an hour. Employees were earning more than $100,000 a year in overtime. This went on for years before it was detected by the city auditor. In all, they added 5 overtime charges, each with a minimum but no maximum. They're written to show a minimum of 2 hours. And when you read it quickly, you think, oh, 2 hours, okay. But really, in practice, they charged 4 hours as a minimum, and there was no overtime, no maximum to this overtime. So, for example, sometimes days of overtimes were charged. Canada's main fireworks day show would have multiple days of 12 hours of overtime. One festival pays $4,000 for overtime charges. Back in 2013, that's when they removed the exemption for nonprofits. Council, when they allowed this bylaw, insisted that nonprofits be exempted, but the wording for that was removed in 2013, again without notifying or consulting council. 2017, the consumer fireworks permit fee was added. Before that, those were free. 2018, the overtime was added for consumer fireworks. This has never been charged, but I believe it will be charged after these bylaw changes go through. 2020, they tried to make the consumer fireworks inspection fee mandatory, but council rejected that change. So in all, this is how it worked. On December 2nd, 2013, the exemption was reserved from the nonprofits. 2 new overtime inspections for festivals were added, 6 new fees. 2017, 2 overtime inspections for professional fireworks, and the fee for consumer fireworks were added, and 3 other fees. 2018, the overtime inspection for consumer fireworks, and finally, the overtime inspection for consumer fireworks changed to mandatory, but overtime by council.